Hey, just Rabs here. So I read Behind Her Eyes. I kept seeing people on TikTok, on YouTube reacting to the show, and I was just like, what is this show? I might watch it. But then I realized it was based off of a book, and I was like, fuck the goddamn show. I am going to read the book. I was told there is going to be a big plot twist at the end, and it's going to be so revolutionary, so off the charts, that you are actually going to be weeping in your ass. You're actually gonna be weeping on your bed, sitting in shit. That's how it was sold to me. If you just want like a little sneak peek of how I reacted to the end, these are a couple of screenshots and tweets and texts that I sent out after finding out what the fuck the ending was. The book is separated into 3 parts, and each part glorifies different aspects of the character. Louise, Adele, and David. The secretary that got caught in a mess where her boss was actually also someone she had an affair with, or almost had an affair with. She kissed him, and she found out that he was married. He is married to Adele, another woman, an Angelina Jolie fine looking ass. But essentially David, being the psychiatrist he was already shady from get-go because he had a lot of mood swings, and we saw that in part 1. However, Adele started to showcase a lot of weirdness and a lot of awkwardness. Her decisions, Louise's decisions, were questionable because of her character and the way that the author built her character. Really lonely, really nurturing because of her son. To her, it felt like everyone was moving forward, whereas she was pushed back constantly. Throughout the book, even to part 3, because of those emotions, because of what made Louise Louise, her terrible decisions were Louise's decisions. So it wasn't as if like the author was being stupid or writing a character that made no fucking sense, or like no person would do that. It really is just hindsight is 2020 because we know some shit going down. We know Adele is orchestrating all of these things. We know that Louise probably wouldn't have done it any better. However, when Adele sent that text to Louise, it is common motherfucking sense. Louise, at that point you know Adele is cray-cray, okay? You know there's some shit going on with this woman. You chose to use the very tactic, the very technique that she taught you, dreaming and lucid dreaming and going to the second door, getting that out-of-body experience. You used what she taught you to go and save her ass instead of just calling 911 after someone gives you something that could be dish. Instead, you call 911, sis. You call 911. You're a blonde white woman. They would have listened to you. You should have called 911 instead of being like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna be an out-of-body hero right now. I'm gonna get out of my body. I'm gonna go to sleep. First of all, you went to sleep. You got a text, and your ass is like, I know how to solve this. I'm gonna go down, sleep, and then get my body to the second door and fucking go and save Adele while I'm floating like Casper the fucking ghost. Even Casper wouldn't fucking do that. She's basically in her body and she goes and she's like, you know what, Adele, she's knocked the fuck out. I think I'm gonna go into her body, take her out, get out of the body, and just like waltz back home, float back home. My sis, first of all, you don't know how to get out of the body. This is the first time you're ever considering going into another body. Sis! As you can see, I'm mad. Then the plot twist happened and we found out Adele wasn't necessarily who she was. The whole plan was to get Louise into the body of Adele so that Rob, the one that was actually in Adele's body, could come out, go into Louise's body, and be with David forever. Once more. The sad, unfortunate part is that David is not going to know that Louise is not Louise until shit starts hitting the fan, and then he finally believes maybe that Adele, his real Adele, was right about the lucid dreaming, the dreaming, and basically the out-of-body experiences. He mentioned how Adele was talk about all these things, talk about this dreaming that she did, these experiences that she experienced, and he didn't find it to be true. He found it to be all mumbo jumbo stupid. But if Louise had just told him, she didn't tell David, and it's just to know that at the ending, when he thinks he's finally gonna have his happy ending with Louise, or when he thought previously that he was gonna have a happy ending with Adele, all of it is being ruined by Rob because none of these women are themselves, and he's not gonna know it, and he's just gonna be cursed forever. But I guess that's what makes reading these types of books worth it. These types of endings, they give the reader an opportunity to write the end for themselves in a way. Foreshadowing was literally the highlight of this book. Throughout part 1, part 2, part 3, you have different Easter eggs throughout. It creates suspicion for every character. The biggest foreshadow, the biggest clue was the way the perspectives changed. For example, every time Adele came up in present time talking about her plans or what game she was playing with both David and Louise, I always found myself questioning, why is it that no perspective is given to those past scenes? The reason why we never got to see Adele and the way she thought in the past in comparison to Adele in the present was because Adele in the present wasn't Adele, but it was Rob. And that poor woman in the past that trusted everyone, loved David with all her heart, and David loved her. In response, all of it was ruined because of this fucking fucker. Overall, I really enjoyed it. I was so angry. So angry. To end, I post bookish content on Mondays and writing content on Fridays. And if you like this face, this content, me being angry and happy and all the emotions at shit, please do subscribe, like, and comment.
Go off. Hey.